Hello, everyone. Am I audible for everybody? Right. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Salesflo webinar for January 2025. We are glad to have you here. We have some very exciting things to be able to show you, some exciting breakthrough releases that we have been able to do. I believe that we are slightly late to start the webinar. So without further ado, let me just get into the agenda and the meeting today. Just some rules for today. In terms of the logistics of the event, we would want that all attendees keep their microphones on mute. In case of any questions, please feel free to drop by any questions in chat, or we would also have a particular section dedicated to Q&A, in which case you can open your microphones and be able to do so, ask any questions that you have through that. Questions are encouraged through the session, but we would just want to keep a particular decorum when assorting with the kind of questions that are being asked, right? So before we actually begin with the webinar that we have outlined for today, let's just have a small recap of our last webinar and the kind of features we saw the last time around. The last time around, we were able to sort of see what our proprietary BI tool, Salesflo Pulse, has been able to release in terms of data source editor. We had tremendous amount of changes within this particular release, and I hope you have been able to enjoy this particular feature since we last showed this to you. At Salesflo Core, it was myself, presenting you a consolidated claim email. The idea was to intimate users about claim approvals and ensure that claims are processed at a lightning fast pace, as we promise you that they will be. Then there was Salesflo Core, the optionality of being able to sort of assort order book of targets based on product hierarchy. And then in terms of some functionality upgrades, we were able to do Salesflo Sites, team member view, Salesflo Engage, auto email scheduling, and then the KPI filter for Salesflo Pulse. With that said, this would be the agenda for today's webinar. I'm sure this has been also something that was forwarded over to you on the email. There is a slight bit of change that I'll be telling you right now, which is that on your left-hand side, we were supposed to begin with Salesflo GO app. However, due to certain technical things, we would be sort of doing that at the end so that we can actually give you the right kind of experience in terms of the kind of functionality that Salesflo GO app has going on. So to start off with, it's going to be me in the Engage CRM to take you through one of our visionary innovations that we have been able to release, and that we will be taking you through. And so, without further ado, let me just get over to Engage CRM. So to introduce you what a CRM is a customer relationship module. What it allows you to do is that it allows you to streamline your activity management. It allows your team to collaborate on a single platform. And it allows that any and all insights that are being captured through the leads that are being captured in the market, or any kind of engagements that your sales team or business development team is having in the market, is being captured and recorded on a single feature, on a single enhancement, so that there is a single source of truth. And you guys are all sort of like trying to be able to process the idea of, funnel management, conversion cycles, so on and so forth. The basic idea behind CRM is to get the entire team working on the objectives of sales and business development, and be able to track your activity in a way that is linear and in a way that makes the most amount of sense. Usually with sales teams, data and the kind of activities and the kind of information you collect on leads is kind of done in either an ad hoc way or is present on very haphazard platforms. And so with Engage's CRM, we bring the ability to for you to be able to sort of understand your sales funnel on a single platform and be able to go through it together and prioritize your outcomes accordingly. Some of the offerings that we have in Engage CRM are as follows, which is that we give you a Kanban view, which is you setting up your own funnels and deciding how you want to create and manage your funnel. We give you a calendar view. We allow you to create activities. Engage is, of course, already known for its dynamic task engine, and we have been able to integrate this task engine into your CRM, allowing you to not only record your leads, but also assign activities on your particular leads. There are push notification, history logs that are being maintained, and the best of it all, that I would be showing you as we go forward as well, is the fact that Engage has the ability. The Engage CRM is one of the few CRMs out there in the market that is both available on the web and app. And it allows you to perform activities both on web and app. This is an offering that you won't find anywhere else other than at Salesflo. The reason for that is because we truly understand the pain that you go through. We truly have been in your place. I myself have been part of business development teams. And so to be really able to solve your use cases, we have been able to build all these functionalities. So without further ado, let me move over to the CRM demo of our particular tool. In front of you is my screen. I hope it's visible. This is the main screen for Engage CRM as you land on it. I'll take you through the functionalities one by one very quickly, and then we'll move over to the mobile interface as well to see it. So let's navigate from the top to bottom. The first view that you get is actually a Kanban view, right? A Kanban view has your funnel set up in which you can have your individual lead cards sort of anchored to suggest the kind of stage at which they're at. This can be suspect, this is a lead entering into your system, or prospect, where you have evaluated a lead and there is further evaluation that's needed. Then there is, say, qualified to buy, so on and so forth. And this is kind of how I've organized my own funnel. In the case that you actually want to add an amount of funnel stages, feel free to do so. You can go to the moon with our funnel stages, to be honest, and document all kinds of processes that you want. Another thing that you would notice is that you don't find any of our leads in the closed loose funnel, and that's because with Engage CRM at your end, you will always be winning your leads. So with that said, here are some quick filters that you have access to on your screen. These allow you to be able to filter any of the lead cards based on how you want to see the view. Of course, as a supervisor and manager, you may have a lot of lead owners. There may be a lot of leads that you're trying to track. And so this would be a great way for you to be able to sort of filter out any of the leads that you're looking for, any of the organizations you're looking for. With that said, let us just very quickly sort of enter into one of the leads and see what kind of details we record. Of course, all these details that you find on the left-hand side are editable. These are all informations that you record against a particular lead, including lead value, expected closure date, the source it comes from, the owner, and so on and so forth. All of this is customizable. The idea is for you to capture as much information on the lead as possible, and then to be able to add any sense of activity that you would want. So as you can see, I have this option of being able to add an activity, and I'm just going to be able to do one and quickly give you one. So I want to schedule an activity and be able to gather some information for this. So based on the activity type I've selected and the lead category this lead is in, I can assign it a particular task, which is, again, getting to know your customer. Based on the lead category, based on the fact whether it's a restaurant, hotel, so on and so forth, tasks can vary. I can add any title at this point in time. So this can be info gathering session 1, right? And add any description if needed be, assign it to a particular app user or a web user, so on and so forth, and even have push notifications intimate that particular user, and just save the activity that you would want to do, right? Simple as that, just simple as that. That being said, right, I hadn't selected a schedule. Apologies for that. Here you go. Save and back. Save. Boom. That's it. I've just created an activity. And when we move over to our mobile phone, we'd actually be able to see how this activity looks like. But before we go over there, just a few little other things. It's not just Kanban that we offer. We also offer you a calendar view. So as a supervisor, you can actually indeed track all your representatives, all your business development executives as they're in the field and see what their calendars actually look like. You can see it on a weekly basis and you can see it on a daily basis, so that you don't only just pass over tasks to your business development executives, you do it in a very meaningful way. You organize their days you organize their activities, and allow them to take things forward at a pace that they demand it to be. Now, with that being said, I will be sharing my mobile screen and be able to take you through the interface that we have of the same thing on my mobile phone. Right. Is my screen visible to everybody? All right. So with that said, at the bottom of our application, this is the Engage application. If you guys haven't already seen it, at the bottom of our application, you have this little tab called CRM. If you click on it, you will be transported over, as we showed on the web interface, to a Kanban view. And here, all your leads will be funneled and will be visible to you. All the leads visible here would be leads that you either are a owner of. That means you are supposed to be the one that is going to be following up on these.
And then screen is not visible.
All right. So we have some comments that the screen is not visible. We have checked it on our end. It should be visible. It should be working. In case you're having technical difficulties, I would ask you to probably try to join in the meeting again. And then if you continue to have these technical struggles, please just let us know in the chat, and we'll be happy to provide you a recording of this webinar as well. With that said, so you have your leads in front of you on the Kanban view, just the way we saw it on the web portal. You can also use different filters to be able to assign these activities accordingly. There's just a slight bit of lag that's occurring. This is because of the internet. There you go. Here's the filters that will allow you to filter out the leads. And then if you go on the calendar view, this allows me to sort of, again, orient my day. This tells me, okay, so I've already done form 1. Now I need to do info gathering at like 5. Oh, I had to do info gathering at 5 a.m. My boss is definitely not doing his job right by assigning me an activity at 5. And I need to do this discovery meeting at 3. I'm just going to enter this discovery meeting. I'm going to say start activity. I'm going to enter. I'm going to do this task. And behold, in front of you is that very, very, very dynamic task engine that we have in Engage, right? Of course, this has the ability to also translate different languages into it, as you can see. So I'm just going to fill this out in a cursory way, just add the kind of design, the kind of things here, just making sure all the detail is filled out. And boom, my form is submitted. The activity that I had to do with my lead is done. And I check out. And that's it. And my activity is logged. And of course, I mean, you can see that, once you sort of integrate the reporting part of it into this and other things, CRM can be extraordinarily helpful in many ways for you. And so with that being said, I will move over to any questions that you may have with reference to our CRM, and take like a 2-minute pause here to see if there's any questions that come from the chat. In the case that you guys are genuinely interested in exploring this, I would say that you please contact your relevant customer success managers or your growth business development executives from our end that have been in contact with you. If not, at the end of the webinar, we will also be providing an email on which you can reach out to us. You can also go to our website, book demos. And yeah, we look forward to onboarding you on this wonderful, wonderful feature that we have, and really taking you, to the next level when it comes to executing your business development activities, your HoReCa channel activities, so on and so forth. Either I've done a fabulous job and there's no questions, or we just have too many shy people in the audience today. Yeah. All right. Well, feel free to ask any questions. I'll be available in chat and be happy to answer any of your questions. With that being said, with us showing you how do you manage your Salesforce effectively, we'll now be moving on to Salesflo site, in particular, Salesflo sites work with. This will be presented by Uruj. Uruj is a web manager for Salesflo sites, and she'll be taking you through Salesflo sites work with tool. that's gonna be allowing you to really evaluate your order booker performance and be able to ensure that the performance of your order bookers in the field is optimized and is enhanced in terms of how they should be performing. So, Uruj, lovely to have you here, and over to you.
Thank you for the introduction, Bilal. Hello, everyone. How are you all? Um, I was browsing through the participant list and I found people from different organizations who are already using Salesforce site, and it was very good to have you here. For those who are new to it, I'll quickly start my demo by giving you a quick overview of what Salesforce site is about before we dive into the exciting new feature that we have recently introduced. So Site is basically a tool that helps sales managers and the head office teams to monitor and manage the on-ground activities. Think of it as a one-stop solution that connects the teams directly to the market, providing insights and tools needed to stay at the top of the game. What truly sets Salesforce Site apart is how it helps you close the loop in the market by taking observations from the field and turning those into action points. This ensures that every interaction that we have, whether it's your team, your customer, or your store, it's structured and meaningful. The primary flow of the tool that some of you are already familiar with focuses on the market surveys, basically helping you to perform informed store visits in the market, to extract the on-ground insights, and to conduct the performance reviews at a store level. When you talk about sales, there's another major contributor to it, other than the store performance, which, when focused on, can bring drastic improvement in the on-ground sales performance. That is your performance review at an order booker level. And that is the order booker call effectiveness. We zoomed into this particular problem statement of how this call effectiveness can be improved, and this resulted in the birth of the WorkWith module. The WorkWith module involves route routing with your order booker. It is a practical way.
They can't see the screen.
Is it visible now?
Yes, now we can see the screen. Thank you.
All right, perfect. So the WorkWith module basically involves you route routing with your order booker. It is basically a way of ensuring that there's alignment between your company's goals and the field execution, whilst you foster a culture of continuous improvement within the order booker knowledge base. It is where you literally work with your order booker to help them develop the skill sets needed to effectively pitch the product in the market. It's a common practice in the sales landscape of Pakistan, but here's a challenge. This practice often lacks standardization, not just across industries, but within industries and within individual organizations as well. We did extensive research on the steps of call followed across multiple organizations and extracted their essence into a 6-point impact framework, making it easy for the supervisors to keep tab of the essential steps of call and grade the order booker performance on it. We did on your screen, you see impact written. This is basically the framework of which the WorkWith module is based. It was extracted after multiple surveys, multiple things with and it is basically a 6-point survey that makes it easy for the supervisors to keep tab of the essential steps of the call and grade order booker performance on it. Let's break this impact down.
Yes.
Call stands for. That is introduction. That is how the order booker starts the call. We are gauging over here if he spends enough time building connections in the market. This is followed by M, that is gauging his ability to effectively manage inventory. That is preventing out of stock situations and optimizing inventory management. This is followed by P, that is portfolio communication. That is how effectively is your order booker getting the brand's message across. Followed by A, that is achieving the desired order. That is if the order booker is able to secure sufficient order to avoid the out of stock days till he visits the store the next time. This is followed by C, that is his communication regarding the retailer margin and the trade offers that are going on at a company level. And this is followed by T, that is a thank you note. A good goodbye greeting, a closing to the sales call where he communicates his next visit plan. So this impact has been translated in a form of a survey inside, and this is where your supervisors grade your order booker's performance if he is performing well on each of these steps. Now here's the exciting part. When you grade your order booker, the scores that you give are stored and are made visible to you in form of an order booker profile. You can now refer to that at any point of time after performing this impact survey with the order booker. You'll be able to see what each of the steps of call, how each of the steps of call were performed, what rating was provided to the order booker over various periods of time. So you can see the ratings that were provided yesterday, this week, this month, this year, and so on. The screenshot that you see is of the order booker profile. And over here, you have the basic details, order booker name, your ID over here, the distributor he serves, along with the performance evaluation and the PGPs that have been allotted to him. The fun part is that the average that you see at the top of this profile is what translates to the leaderboard of the order booker selection screen for your WorkWith. This then helps you select the order booker for the next WorkWith session. Here, you'll be able to identify the order bookers who have not been rated. So that goes along with the tag of unrated. You'll be able to identify the order booker performance over different periods of time. So you'll be able to see what rating each order booker has been assigned and how the trend of the rating is going. So for example, on number 2, you see a 4.3 rating, but you also are able to identify that this rating went down over time. So it might be that you want to focus on this order booker to improve his performance. The leaderboard also separates the order bookers that have the PGP assigned for the day and the order bookers that don't have an assigned PGP, so that you know that these are the order bookers that are associated with your organizations. However, you're also able to identify the order bookers who are serving that day. Now that you know the essence of the module, what impact is, and how you're able to see the ratings across the leaderboard and the order booker profiles, let's take a quick run through of the module flow. The leaderboard part is exactly how the module flow starts. You click on WorkWith, you land on the leaderboard screen. From here, you are able to do a quick order booker selection. Click on the order booker profile if you want to investigate further details. Otherwise, move ahead with the selection and proceed to the PGP for the day screen. Over here, whatever PGP that is assigned to the order booker will appear. From then on, when you proceed, you'll be able to take a picture with your order booker. After that, there is a optional morning meeting survey that can be filled to see if the order booker, before going into the market, was rightly equipped with the materials so that he's able to start his day. Once the visit starts, we have the stores of the OB PGP populated on the map and on the drawer as well. And you can click on the store and start the visit. This is now like the open visit flow. The main screen gives you information about the store, which is essential in gauging the order booker performance. Once you service the store, you land on the survey screen containing your standardized WorkWith impact survey and any customized survey you want to gauge the order booker performance on. Your order booker metrics over here are introduced to help you analyze the performance of the order booker further. So when you visit the store, you'll be able to see the average time the order booker spends on call on this particular store. For example, in this scenario, he spends 5.6 minutes, and the average time he spends in covering that entire PGP. So in field, he's covering 3.6 hours. This shows you this gives you the ability to judge whether the order booker is spending adequate time on the store or not, and the entire PGP as well. Once you fill the surveys and you check out of the store, you end your WorkWith. Here you get a summary of the number of visits performed, along with other visit details, including time in field, service filled, ratings provided, providing you a comprehensive overview of route riding with your order booker and equipping you with the powerful insights that you need to empower your order bookers with the right knowledge to go out in the market. That is it from my end. This is all about the WorkWith module that we have recently introduced. It's all about you having the ability to perform order booker evaluations. Are there any questions at your end that needs to be addressed?
As in the webinar, right?
Yeah.
Not. So no questions. We have a very shy audience today. Eh? Well, again, like I said, feel free to drop by. Any questions in the chat, and of course, Aruj would be available.
And you can also consult with your relevant CSMs over here, and we will be glad to give you an in-person demo of the tool as well.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. With that said, let's move over to our next great big breakthrough, which is going to be presented by Aisha for a proprietary BI tool, which is known as Salesflo Pulse. Quite excited about that. Aisha would be introducing us to multi-data source selector this time around. So over to you, Aisha. Let's go.
Perfect. Yeah. Hi, everyone. So this is Aisha Salim. I'm the product manager at Salesflo for Salesflo Pulse, which is shortly a business intelligence tool designed to reduce time to insights for our Salesflo customers. I think for all our audience, especially for all organizations, especially, I believe all of us can agree how imperative it is for us to be able to see a combined view of our numbers across different metrics. Multi-data set reporting exactly caters to that. It allows for users to do or to join different data sources seamlessly in a single report at their own discretion without having to really depend on, let's say, their MIS team or their BI team. What it allows for you to do is combine up to 4 data sources in a single report, slice and dice data across multiple dimensions effortlessly, and generate insights faster with instant access to data and self-service reporting. A very good use case of it would be, let's say, combining your primary and secondary sales to get a holistic overview of how your company or how your organization is growing. We're just going to do a quick demo here, or just going to have a quick look at the demo video. So here, when I'm trying to create a new report, I'm going to opt for primary sales and secondary sales data cubes. Once I do that, I'm going to get a, let's say, a distributor-wise view of my secondaries and primaries. Go to opt for units and gross value, including GST, the total value. I'm going to do a comparison of these two metrics. We can see this data at whatever time period we want to, but for now, we're going to opt for MPD, and we're going to have a look at this data for MPD. So this is how the report looks like. I'll be able to compare my secondary units, my primary value, and my secondary values in a single report. I can now extract this report in Excel or a CSV. If I want to share it further, I can also schedule this report later on if I want to. I'm going to save this report, give it a name. That's it. Once saved, you can view this report from here. That's it. Yeah, so that was all for multi-data source selector. Moving on, we have another exciting feature, another exciting release for Pulse, which is my time comparison functions. So now you'll be able to effortlessly compare your data across multiple time spans in the same report. Perfect. So Rabia here is going to do a quick demo of the time comparison functions as to how that.
आपको शिपर का नाम मिल सकता है जिसने भेजा कंसाइनी का नाम मिल सकता है पैसेंजर
Everyone, so I would be giving you the demo regarding the time comparison functions and the dashboard revamp features that are involved in Pulse. So another super exciting feature that we have rolled out in Pulse is the ability to compare your data across multiple timeframes in the same report. Our tool will now allow you to be able to visualize a single KPI across up to 3 different timeframes that we will show you shortly. As all of us here would agree, it is extremely essential for any organization to be able to identify how the numbers look compared to other time periods, such as month to date or same time last year. So using these functions, we will show you how we can incorporate them into our report KPIs. Can you please play the video? So the user is first asked to go towards KPI Builder. Over here, they have the option to either create a dashboard KPI or a report KPI. So in this case, for time comparisons, we'll be using a report KPI. I will first be asked to use my data source. So as I showed you before, we have multiple data sources available, and I'll be selecting one of them and choosing a catalog as well. Once that is done, I go towards the functions button that you can see, and you will see multiple functions displayed over here for count, sum, or an and. And as you scroll down, there's a separate section just for time comparisons with options such as year to date, month to date, same time last period. Once I click on one, I can choose a measure that I want to apply my time function for. And in this case, we will be selecting it. We have chosen gross value, including GST. And once that is done, the system will ask me to name my KPI before I can move forward and save it or validate it. So I'm going to be naming it as MTD GSV. Okay, so the function was correct and it has been successfully saved. As the user can see, they're able to view their function over here. Now, what we had done was for month to date, if I want to make for another time comparison, for example, I want to compare for secondary sales and I want to use year to date, I will repeat the same steps, but this time I can search in my search bar the name of my function, and I've selected year to date. And this just gives us easier navigation using the search bar in case the user doesn't want to scroll through all of the available options that they have. And the steps are pretty much the same as before. Once we have selected our respective fields, we will go towards naming the function, in this case, YTD, which stands for year to date. Once that is done, we are able to save our function and use it for later use. So my KPIs have been successfully created. And now I will be going to ad hoc reports so I can add them in my report and visualize the sales pattern and data across different time periods. I will be using only secondary sales over here for my data set. Once that is done, as Aisha mentioned before, the user would be asked to choose certain dimensions and measures. And this time they will be able to choose custom KPIs that can help them do their comparisons efficiently. So I hope that was it from my side for time comparisons. If anybody has any questions regarding it, please feel free to ask and I will be answering them for you.
Right. Any takers? Any takers? None. All right. Well, we were finally able to get hold of Anik, who we missed in the first try with Salesflo GO. With Anik being here, we're just going to jump back to where we were going to start our webinar from and be able to introduce you Salesflo GO. This is one of our breakthroughs in terms of supply chain and being really able to optimize your last mile delivery services. So without any further ado, I will go back to, sorry for that, to Anik's Salesflo GO app.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Anik and I am the product guy for Salesflo Go. Thank you so much for the wait. So without further ado, Salesflo Go. So if I were to tell you in a line what Salesflo Go is, Salesflo Go optimizes supply chain efficiency, particularly in the last mile sector. So as we move, the last mile sector is a quite targeted, is a quite large, and is something that almost every business faces a problem into. As per calculations, around 20 to 30% of a business operational cost particularly goes towards the last mile sector. The last mile sector, in terms of fuel cost, in terms of visibility of how your delivery fleet is operating, in terms of external leakages that may happen in this operations, and in terms of what RTGs would you be getting when deliveries are being serviced in a retail business, is exactly how the last mile sector is untapped. So it may seem quite similar in terms of how exactly a distribution vehicle would go, a delivery vehicle would go from point A to B to service a delivery and then may come back. However, due to the complex nature of terrain, due to the complex nature of order size, due to the complex nature of order intensity, there are inefficiencies. And in order to optimize them, we at Salesflo are here to present to you guys Salesflo Go. So if you move to the next slide, say what Salesflo Go particularly does in the entire journey is that it has created two particular ambits. One is an intelligent algorithm, which, if I were to tell you through the journey process, basically understands the company's order size, the delivery parameters that are set based upon the delivery terrain, where exactly do they need to service deliveries, and based upon the intensity of deliveries that need to be delivered. Out of all of the vehicles that a particular company may have, our algorithm understands that and then provides an optimal provided path based on different clusters through which the delivery should be serviced. But that's not only it. We then also help the delivery guy by providing a comprehensive delivery application by which he can follow a step-by-step guide in order to function of how exactly do the deliveries need to be serviced. So without further ado, I directly show you guys how exactly are the deliveries being happening. So I'll be sharing my screen, and is my screen visible? Perfect. So as you can see, this is our interface of Salesflo core in itself, which is the brainchild of Salesflo in itself. So I have configured order data based upon delivery statistics, and here exactly after putting in all of the right parameters in order to gather order data, I will now be generating routes. These routes will be creating clusters. And to brief you guys, what exactly clusters would be? These clusters would basically be accumulation of stores based upon the delivery terrain, based upon the delivery statistics, based upon of how exactly is the order size. Our algorithm will be creating clusters in order to optimize the number of usage of delivery vehicles. So I will just be creating generate routes, and our algorithm will in a minute show you guys exactly how is this happening. So as you guys can see, our algorithm has suggested two clusters. However, we can also see that there is an open area of stores that are being serviced over here. So how exactly are we going here? So we do know that there are complexities in delivery. So our algorithm then also allows you to custom create a cluster so that you can exactly pinpoint of where exactly do you want to service a vehicle and where exactly would you not want to service a vehicle, and you could delay that out. So I will be creating a custom polygon here, as you guys can see, in order to service this entire area. So a question for you guys. I am just creating a store over here by allowing a particular distribution vehicle over here. So I have just saved that. Just a minute. So a question for you guys would be that our algorithm could have also suggested that this cluster could have been a part of this, but it did not. And that's why, because of the delivery terrain, because of how far both of the locations are. So I can also see that there are certain orders which are over here. There are certain orders which are over here. So our algorithm give you a sanity check that these are locations which are quite far. If you send the vehicle that was associated in this particular area, this may bring you an incremental high cost. So as a business, how can I take into account? So I can either service these deliveries later, or I can create a cluster for them and allot them to a vehicle which may be of a lower capacity. Let's say a business may have vehicles which have a high capacity. Let's say they take a minimum order size of 2,000 kilos. I can here allot a vehicle size which may have a small vehicle, which may have a small weighted capacity, in order to optimize the fuel efficiency of that particular vehicle, and in order to optimize the rent that I would be paying for that vehicle. So after doing that, I have now saved this. Save this cluster in a minute. And now I will be proceeding and generating load forms. After I do this, the clusters are now being saved, and now within a minute, our algorithm is configuring all of the data and has now transported all of the data into our delivery application, which will be here in just a minute. So the load form is generated. Now the invoices are also there. And now our algorithm is doing its action in order to strengthen the data. So as we can see, the invoices are now generated. Now exactly, we come down to what is Salesflo GO, the delivery man app. This is an application which, as we all can see, has synced up the data created in the clusters, and this will be in the hand of a delivery guy. So now he has the option to start his day, and now I will be doing that. So as I come to the visit plan, now I have a generated active load form, which as my duty I have to service. I will be starting my day, and I'm at the distribution center. I will be collecting all of the invoices by manually checking the invoices I have had. And now I have a load form for which I will be cross-checking against the amount of stock that is in my vehicle and the amount of stock that my application stored, so that there is no areas of underperformance and I have all of the right material when I will be going for deliveries. So I will collect this load form and I will then begin my day. So in order to optimize the amount of distance traveled by delivery vehicles, I will be taking a picture of my vehicle meter. For the simplicity, I'm just taking a picture of a blank screen here, since I'm not at a distribution right now. And I will be entered the amount, my meter reading. So let's say for simplicity of this calculation, I'm entering 200 kilometers. So I have now started my day, and now I will be navigating my way through. So here we can see there are 2 stores which I need to service today, and the value of stock that I'm going to deliver is near to 3.2K. So I will begin my day starting with 786 stores, which is the most nearest as our algorithm suggestion, and I will be starting my delivery. As I start my delivery, now I know that I will have to go to 786 store, and if I don't know the location, then I can also simply open Google Maps and find my way through. As you can see, the algorithm is working and our app is showing you guys. So I can simply start my day over here, and since I'm over here and the stop is quite far, that's why we can see a lot of travel time, but that may not be the case. And now after reaching the location, I will be pressing arrive at store, which configures and which allows that I have physically arrived at the store, serving as another data point for the end user or for the people who are monitoring deliveries to know exactly when, what time, and by traveling, how much have I reached the distribution. I will now be taking a picture of the storefront, and for the simplicity over here, I'm just taking a blank picture since I'm not at a store, and I will be checking mark that I have arrived at the store. I will then be pressing next and going towards to service the deliveries at 786 store. So after I come here, now I have the option to choose. Let's say this store had ordered SQ 0003. And let's say this store had ordered 2 units, and however, this store has refused to take the 2 units. I now also have the option to minimize the amount of deliveries I may be doing so that it could be recorded on my application. And I'd simply press minus over here, and we can see how the return stock has showed you that. I will be pressing done, and now I will be having an invoice page for which I will be collecting cash. However, we've seen that there is an error. So there may be an issue over here. So, and that is how I may be concluding my day. And after servicing these invoices, I will now have the option to document my entire journey and go forward to service these deliveries. So this is in a nutshell of how exactly is Salesflo GO doing, how it digitizes the entire process, and how we are here to bring the next leap of faith in last mile. And I'm open to any questions you guys may have.
Come on, guys. We were hoping that the audience would have a lot more questions. No takers?
Okay, yes. So this application does require internet, since we have introduced real-time tracking. So you have to require internet access to these mobile phones when they would be traveling. Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much, Anik, for taking us through that entire development. I'm sure there is so much more to the Deliveryman app, to the Salesflo Go app that you just showed us. Please do show your interest. I think this is the last piece of puzzle when it comes to really solving the great big puzzle of retail landscape that we're covering. So with us really closing in on the time, I won't take a lot of time and we'll just move over to the last functionality upgrade we have, which is STR distributed location. For this, we will have a special guest from our Hyderabad office joining us, Arsalan, who has been somebody instrumental in developing this particular feature. He'll be taking us through the demo while I introduce the business context behind this functionality. Now, STR distributed location. Why do we name it this functionality? Well, because it started with a particular use case. The use case being that when you do end up recording stock damage return from the market, it may not be the case that all kinds of stock damage return is usually parked in a particular damage location. There may be different types of STR that would be going on. Oh, I believe that there is a slight issue with the way the PPT has been made visible. Just a second. Allow me to configure this. Is it all right? Is my screen visible now? All right. Let me try again. How about now? I think this should be able to fix this. Just having a bit of technical difficulties with me right now, guys. Just hang in there with me. Right, there we go.
It's okay now.
Figured it out. Right. So with that being said, the particular SDR distributed location type functionality was built because when you take damage return from the market, it may not all be ubiquitous. That means, that is to say, that it may not all be damaged. Some part of it may be recyclable. Some part of it may be maybe to be disposed in a certain different way owing to the nature of the product that you have. And as a result, when it comes down to being able to store this particular stock damage return at the distributor location, you would ideally want to bifurcate it in different kind of locations, say a expired location, say a damaged location, say a recycled location. Previously, Salesflo Core did not have the ability to be able to allow a distributor to configure multiple distributor locations. However, using this particular use case, we have been able to develop the functionality whereby when stock damage return is being recorded from the application, from the order booker, it directly gets inserted into these distributor locations, allowing you to have a better visibility of the kind of stock on floor that you have and the kind of divisions that are present. This allows you to improve the tracking of your inventory, ensure compliance or any kind of SOPs that are there for stock damage return, and streamline the overall stock return process that we have been trying to automate for you in many ways. So without much delay, Arsalan, my friend, over to you.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आई थिंक मेरी स्क्रीन विजिबल होगी आपको। Let me confirm.
Yes, Aslan. We can see it now. Yeah.
So let's start a demo. This is Arslan Khan. I'm from Hyderabad as engineering department. So as Bilal discussed with you, SDR assortment part, we are assorted location in different variation types. First of all, I will show you ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर मैंने इस पे एक्सपायर स्टॉक एक्सपेक्ट किया। फर्स्टली पासली मैं आपको थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड देता हूँ कि लास्टली हम लोग साउंड और डैमेज में अपनी इन्वेंटरी को मैनेज कर रहे होते थे, बट फॉर नाउ वी आर सॉर्टिंग इन्वेंटरी इन अ मल्टीपल लोकेशन। ओके, सो first of all, I'm going to show you my current inventory in spare stock. After that, when I will settle my SDR, I will show you how inventory is managing right now. There is zero inventory in my expired location. Now I'm going to raise one SDR on this SKU. After that, when I will settle, you will see how we are managing inventories in multiple locations. Going with 10 units. Nowadays, let's approve this SDR. I'm going to approve 10 units. Now let's settle and let's see a big change. Currently, I have 0 units. Now I'm going to settle inventory in my assorted return units in an assorted location. Let's settle this. Now you can see we are managing inventory in our multiple location. Lastly, we were just maintaining sound and damage. Now we open multiple locations and we allow a distributor to manage their inventory in a multiple locations type. So I raise in expired stock, so that's why my inventory comes up in expired location. So Bilal, over to you. That's my part.
Right, Arsalan, thank you so very much for taking us through the demo and for showing the audience the kind of functionality we have been able to build for our users and really being able to complete the retail ecosystem that we have been long and proud been preaching about for the past almost decade that this organization has been in process. It's an ongoing journey for us. If there are any questions, please feel free to drop by any of those questions in the chat. If you're interested in any of these features, we'd love to hear from you. Please contact your relevant CS managers, your growth managers, or contact us on our website, on our email. Just to be able to sort of go through and sort of keep you hooked on what's coming next. Here's some upcoming innovations we're still working on. We have dynamic beat size that we are working on. The idea being allowing you to perfect the way in which you create your beats and be able to automate that process more. We're looking into completing and enhancing our functionality on the spot seller use cases. And so in that particular case, we'll be introducing an update with reference to daily summary. We have a geofencing update for Salesflo mobility. For Salesflo Core, we are introducing a text filer status. And for Salesflo Pulse, as always, Aisha is hard at work, and we're going to be getting some more reports going on like that. With that being said, if there are any questions, we are here. We're going to be sticking by here for the next 5 minutes. Feel free to drop by any questions or contact and so on and so forth. Yeah, thank you so very much for joining us today.
Yeah, Bilal, I think Mozam has a question in the chat as well. So let's take that. Otherwise, thank you so much. Everyone who's able to join.
So Mr. Mozam has mentioned so yes, Mr. Mozam, if at the moment you have a distributor location, if you have 2 distributor locations configured for your SDR module, you now will have the functionality to be able to add multiple warehouses for a distributor and then record your SDR regions, map your SDR regions against these warehouses. Say, for instance, you can create an SDR region called expiry and map it as such that when you add any kind of a return based on that reason, it gets parked in that particular warehouse location, allowing you to better track your expiries, better track your returns. Indeed, yes. Yes, absolutely, Mr. Faraz. I think that is an extraordinary question, and that's really how you complete the entire chain. You can indeed actually connect. Our SDR module is indeed, in fact, right now connected to our claims module, where it gives you the visibility of how many returns were processed on part of a distributor for a particular SKU. And then it allows you to also, again, I would ask you to explore our claims functionality in a lot more detail, because the claims module is an entirely own beast that I've been able to sort of tame back in my day. But yes, to answer your question, the SDR module is indeed connected to the claims engine and allows you to process the claims related to your SDR for a particular distributor and your entire distributor infrastructure and your network quite well and quite effectively. You, by the way, also have the option of adjusting units, right? There's a lot in claims that I can tell you about. But yes, if you're interested in sort of automating the entire process of recording your SDR and then turning it into claims for your distributors, so that the working capital that is left over at your distributors end, they're basically never cash strapped, to ensure that your distributors are never cash strapped, I would really encourage you to see your claims module. It has allowed organizations to move their claim cycle anywhere from their 60-day claim cycle and down to 15 days and 10 days. All right. In the case if nobody has any questions, we'll be sticking by for a couple of minutes, but feel free to leave if you want to, and we'll see you next month. Thank you for coming to Salesflo's webinar. We love to build, we love to innovate, and we love to inspire. Thank you.